Welcome back, trainers, and today we're finally here with the Shadow Staraptor with his Community Day move, Gust. Now, I'm going to have to say I underestimated what it was going to be able to potentially do, and with that Shadow Gust plus Stab, it's looking really nice, folks, and I'm going to have to say we were looking great. Now, this team is not going to be doing so hot if it does encounter a specific Pokemon, and that is going to be Altaria in the front, but the key for this team was to kind of just mess with the algorithm, and that we did. We had great leads, I'm going to have to say about 70% of the time here, and you're going to see what is going to be going on because of what we got in the back. So Shadow Staraptor paired up with Medicham XL, of course, and then our Venusaur Shadow. This thing put in the work. I mean, it could have been another Shadow Venusaur video, to be honest with you. I mean, I love my Shadow Venusaur. I love Venusaur, period. All right, so Shadow Staraptor is going to be very squishy, and when it comes down to it being in the Great League, it's just a little bit hard to use straight up. You could use the regular Staraptor, that's for sure. It's going to be able to take hits, and it's not dishing out as much damage though, so you got to think about that. Where I think it's going to be performing the best is simply going to be the Ultra League. It may have some play in the Master League. I already know it's going to be able to do something. We tested it out today, and it was okay. It was doing a decent amount of damage at a 100% IV, level 51 best buddy against a Dialga. That was pretty nice, but Ultra League is where you're going to want it. Now, here's another thing. You cannot have return on a Staraptor in the Great League because of the combat power that it is going to be bumped up to when you do Purify it, so that's just a little unfortunate, but I do have plenty of those lying in wait for the Ultra League as well as the Master League, so we'll see how that does work out. It's kind of nice. It's not like a bait move because it still takes a ton of energy to actually get off return. You are getting stabbed though because you're normal and flying type, so that's going to be pretty nice, but at least you're not going to be debuffing yourself like with Brave Bird or Close Combat. So I'm happy, folks. It was a good community day. I was late to it. I did live stream. I kept looking at my clock like I have all these candies. I don't need to jump into it right away, and that's exactly what happened. So I think, okay, no, this is not the battle. That's going to be the last battle. I don't know why I thought it was going to be this one here. Medicham barely surviving as they do bring in their Scrafty. So we'll get into the commentary here in a minute. So I started Community Day late, turned on my Go Plus as soon as it did start. I wasn't like not in the game or anything like that. Have a ton of spawns around my house. It caught a shiny within like the first couple of minutes. And total, as you've seen there, I got it 21. Tapped on a couple, mostly the Go Plus was going crazy and just catching them and getting all those shinies like it usually does for me here. So as you can see, Staraptor is putting in the work. Now you may need some shields, and it may not even come down to you needing shields because the damage that you are taking from Staraptor, say for instance you're going up against a fighter. Hey, look at this guy here. Just check out what he's going to have in the back. Say you go up against a fighter, you're doing super effective with your Gust and Stab, sure, but they're also going to be almost on par, dealing out, if it's like say a Shadow Machamp, a lot of damage back. Now granted, you're probably going to take him out in a couple, it's like Confusion, but it still takes a ton of damage. Now this is extremely entertaining here. It is, I guess it could be a meme team, but just wait till you see what they have in the back. I mean, they must be pulling off wins here, so they decide to shield it up, and we go down. I wasn't expecting to get to another charge move. I just wanted to take them down or get their last shield. They're going to be swapping. They got a Mandibuzz. Okay, let's go. Now, at this point, I wanted to put all of my hope into the Venusaur, and seeing that they had no shields, Venusaur is going to be able to do quite a bit. I'm hoping that they're not going to have another flyer in the back after we do take them down. Medicham is going to be able to take these hits here quite comfortably. We should be able to take another one. Yeah, let's go. Getting to the Ice Punch here. Now what we're going to do is swap into the Venusaur immediately and start building up our energy and try to farm them down. And we do. Let's see what they're going to be bringing into the battle. A Wobbuffet. Okay. Hey, so they got a Wobbuffet XL and a Chansey XL. Let's go. Challenge accepted. Let's have a little fun. We're still going to have to pull off a little bit of finesse if we want to win this, because the Mirror Shot is still going to be doing a decent amount of damage to our Shadow Venusaur. So we're going to go for this immediately here. They did not catch. I needed to take them out because I felt like they had a Psychic pretty much ready to go. And so in comes the Wobbuffet. We're going to go for another one of these Frenzies. We're going to swap here in a second. Right about now, try to catch. I don't know if they're just throwing or just whatever the case may be, but nonetheless, they're using up their energy. They didn't tap, and we're going to go ahead and counter them down with that Medicham. Let's go. Don't worry, Staraptor is going to be actually putting in the work. It's not just Venusaur or Medicham carrying it the entire time. We'll see. So they're going to be swapping Deoxys defense form, bringing in a Galarian Stunfisk. We bring in our Medicham and just have a little fun here. You already know the drill. Now, I usually go with Dynamic Punch and Psychic, but this time I'm just going to go with the Ice Punch. I just had it ready to go like this, so let's just go ahead and go with it. Getting off that Ice Punch here, and getting off another one. I think that we could have maybe countered down. Alright, we're getting a shield. Perfect. So we are going to let this go, because what we want to do at this point is go in with our Venusaur, farm down. That's going to be a decent amount of energy. Kind of wanted to farm down with the Talonflame, oh my goodness, Staraptor. But I didn't want him to get to a rock slide, so they have a Tropius. Okay, sounds good. We're going to go ahead and go for that Sludge Bomb on Venusaur. They're using their last shield. We still have 2. They do have a quick move that's doing a ton of damage to us, so we kind of need to get out of here. We want to kind of preserve the Venusaur, so we're swapping into our Staraptor, and they bring in their Deoxys. So this is getting a little interesting here. We could shield this up, take him out with a Brave Bird, and then take him out with a Gust on the Tropius, because it is going to be weak to flying. So we go for the Brave Bird here. Staraptor putting in the work, sweeping up at the end for us, and they get to a charge move. We'll simply shield this up and then take them out. So you gotta get used to the quick move. It's not like we haven't had something like this before. You gotta Incinerate, Confusion, Charm, 3-turn moves that are going to be doing, keeping you in that animation for a long time, and you got to get used to that. So next battle, we're met with the Shadow Victory Bell. And that is, Medicham wouldn't mind to see that, and Staraptor would love to, but we're not going to swap, because I already know they're going to have a Bastodon on this team. They usually do when it comes down to these Shadow Victory Bells. So we're going to shield this up, and it is an Acid Spray. Unfortunately, they're going to now be doing more damage, and we kind of shielded up something that we didn't necessarily need to, but that's okay. We got both shields out of them. They want to win this. Okay, sounds good. So we're bringing in Staraptor. Me knowing that there is going to be a Bastodon back here, getting ready for the close combat. They catch a close combat, and I actually didn't even get mad. I was like, wow. I said out loud, nice. That was a good catch. I was comfortable. I already knew I was going to win this. Probably why I didn't care so much. So yeah, that was well played there on their end, though. Very clean catch with that close combat with the Dragalge. But unfortunately, it's not enough. We take that win. They back out. They already know it's over. Let's keep it moving here. Staraptor putting in that work. Next battle met with an Obstagoon, and the leads just keep getting better and better. We're going to be seeing them swap into a Deoxys. So since we do have the Medicham in the back, we're going to stay right here. Venusaur has a good matchup with this. Now, you are going to be taking a lot of damage from that initial Psycho Boost, so you need to be careful and shield it up, and we do. The next one, you will survive, okay? And at this point, we can let it go, but I shielded up. Okay, just to let you know, you can let it go. We could have farmed down, saved ourselves a shield. Now, they still have 2, but I'm thinking I've got a ton of energy here. I'm not worried about anything. So I retreat with 2 Frenzy Plants on the Venusaur. So even though we're down 2 shields, I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're really holding on to it. So they got a Surfetch that they're going to be swapping into. And I already can see where this is going. We can't quite say we're going to win this. But I mean, come on, we still have a Staraptor back there. So let's see what they're going to hit me with here. A Night Slash, okay. And we're getting to another Ice Punch on the Medicham. Putting in that work, this thing is always good. I know, it's disgusting. And that's about a wrap here. So we didn't even see the Staraptor for that one there, unfortunately. Even though it could have put in a ton of work for us. Next battle, what are we going to see with that Venusaur in the lead every single time? And we're met with the Medicham. Sounds good to me. They're going to be immediately retreating and bringing in a Lickitung. And I bring in my own Medicham. In which, look, I know I could have bring in Staraptor. Resisted on the lick, but here's the thing, Body Slam is going to basically, take you out in almost one shot. So it's like, man, it doesn't really have too many options here. You got to be very careful and know. See, I've used it before, so I know what's going on here. I think that's why I kind of maybe did okay, plus the dang good leads. What a crazy day. That's right there. I mean, messing with the algorithm, boys and girls. Let's go. All right, so what's happening here? Shielding this up, and we're going to go ahead and farm them down using our first shield. And we're loaded up on energy. What are you going to bring into the battle? A Bastodon. Sounds good to me. Now, Venusaur can take this thing on here. So they're shielding up the first one. Great. Now, Staraptor, it can get to a close combat. It's going to be very close, though. Between full health and farming all the way up to close combat. But looks like we're going to be able to put in the work here with this Venusaur. Getting their last shield, but it's still getting a little nerve-wracking. But watch this. We have to save that. So we immediately swap. It looked like they were trying to catch, and we bring in our Staraptor. If we threw that, we would have... I don't think... Wait, let's see. No. Yeah, we're going to finish off that Bastodon with a close combat. Let's go. But technically, playing it safe, we needed to have that Frenzy Plant ready to go just in case. You never know. And Staraptor putting in that work, taking out the Medicham, and then finishing off the Bastodon with close combat for a 4-1. Now, this team was going to get me positive today. Yes, I went up in points for once. Now, the first couple of battles that I did do testing it, I was using a Lapras. If you did battle me, yeah, I know, I lost. But I swapped it up quite quick, and we got a new team going on here. So next battle, we're met with a Registeel. And if you're thinking that's not too good of a matchup for you, actually, it's not too bad at all. Did you see how much we did with that Frenzy Plant? Zap Cannon's resisted, same with Focus Blast. So they go to lower our attack. This Frenzy Plant's still going to do a decent amount, and what we can do after this is just bringing it in with the Medicham and farm down. I think that's what we want to do. Now, here's the unfortunate part, though. They are going to have a counter to fighting, I would assume. Let's see what happens here. So we counter down the Registeel. Let's see where's your counter. Bringing in a Machamp, and if they bring in a Machamp up against my Medicham, there's something that's telling me they're either playing mind games to get my energy here, or there's definitely something back there also weak to fighting. So I'm going to want to go ahead and stay here. We hold on to our shield, calling a cross chop. We're swapping right now to snipe the Machamp with a Gust, and they got a Bastodon in the back. So here we go. They let this go because I'm pretty sure they know it's over with the Medicham loaded with energy in the back, and we one-shot the Bastodon with the Staraptor. Let's go. All right, my bird is putting in that work, folks. Next battle, we're met with a Shadow Nidoqueen. Now, we shield up the first one, and then we let the next one go. We get a shield from them, bring them low enough to either farm them down with Medicham or Staraptor. Simple as that. If I do remember correctly, they do swap after we do bring in our next Pokemon immediately here. So we're going to get their first shield, and we're letting this go here. So this isn't quite low enough to farm them down, so we're going to shield them up. We're going to do a double shield to see if they want to as well here, and we'll have a shieldless battle right off the bat. And we do not want to swap, because that would, well, you don't even have an opportunity to. So we bring in Staraptor, they swap into their Sableye. We do resist the Shadow Claw because we are normal, but the Foul Play would pretty much take us out in one shot. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of them with close combat. Since we're not locked here, we're going to immediately bring in our Medicham so that we can debuff or fix the debuffs on the Staraptor. And they're coming in here with the Scrafty, and this is a good matchup for me. It's still not, you know, we can't just win this comfortably here. Let's see what's going to happen. All right, so we're going to counter them down. Now, I think we're good to go. Yeah, no, it's over now. All right, now we're going to take them out with an Ice Punch and Medicham, putting in that work. Same with Staraptor. Everything did. Love this team. Moving on to our next battle here, folks. What are we going to see? Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. Met with a Quillfish here. This is a good matchup for us for sure. Just going to get this Frenzy Plant off immediately here before they can build up any extra energy and get to that Sludge Wave or try to do some bait. They let it go. They got a plan back here. Let's see what they're going to do. And bring it in Noctowl. Okay, I like this situation quite a bit. Actually, let's get it. Yes, I do have, you know, we got our own bird, so we'll be able to handle that situation, as well as Medicham that actually doesn't mind going up against it. That's how disgusting Medicham is. And yes, I'm using it because we're using an extremely squishy Staraptor and Venusaur, both Shadow. So yep, we're using that XL. So we're going to go ahead and shield this up, our first shield up against them here, and it looks like I want to try to farm. I think we're going to double shield because we do have 2 close combats ready to go. They've only got 1 shield. They can, you know. Okay, here we go. So we go for the first one here, and this is going to be a fun cleanup. Oh, they let it go. We swap into Medicham, and then they back out. Let's go. Staraptor taking out these Bastodons left and right. It is a counter. And let's get into the next battle. Met with a Trevenant here. This is not bad at all. A lot of people are going to be tempted to kind of go for the Seed Bomb to make you get a shield. Plus, it's doing a decent amount. They can farm you down and then have energy ready to go for the next Pokemon that you do bring in. So let's see how this does work out. I'm going to let this go. I know they're not going to go for a Shadow Ball with that low health on our Venusaur. But now I will shield this up to see if we could potentially get 2 shields out of them. And they're going to be swapping to catch. They did bring in a Walrein. So we're going to go for the Frenzy Plant. Let's go. And then swapping into our Medicham. They're shieldless at this point. So if we can come out of this with energy and hit the Trevenant with Ice Punch, that would be great. But when shields are down and you have a shield with your Staraptor, I'm not going to say you're going to be able to sweep up, but if you can get to a charge move, more than likely you're going to be able to take out whatever you're going up against, probably for sure. Alright, so we take them out. We win this with barely any energy and health. And I think I'm vigorously tapping on this Ice Punch, whatever they bring in. It's a Swampert. Oh, okay. Sounds good to me. So watch what happens here. They're expecting me to bring in my Venusaur, right? And they know it doesn't have much health, so they're going to swap immediately. But I bring in Staraptor, and I farm them down. Let's go. So that's going to be a pretty hard counter to the Trevenant. We get to the Brave Bird overkill here just because why not? And we're taking out the Swampert with our Staraptor at the end and still with the shield. Let's keep it moving on to our next opponent. Met with a Lickitung. This is kind of a neutral matchup. They're going to be doing a lot with those body slams. The licks are going to be adding up here, but it's... I don't know. It's fine. We'll figure it out. All I know is they're going to have something in the back that's going to protect them from fighting, so we have to know that there's probably going to be some sort of a maybe counter, south counter to Medicham. We'll have to see. So we're going to let this one go after we did shield up the first one. I'm definitely not going to be using 2 shields here, so we build up a little bit more. We want to farm down. Oh my goodness, we're not going to be able to get to both of those frenzy plans because they're going to sneak a quick move here. All right, they did, but we're going to be able to at least threaten him, do a bunch of damage, or get a shield. And we're getting a shield from the Surf Edge. We bring in our Staraptor to do a ton of damage. Now, I think we're going to have to shield this up because you simply cannot take a hit with Staraptor. You just cannot. And they have another Pokemon weak to flying in the back. The Medicham and Staraptor getting the shield, swapping into our own Medicham, and it is over pretty much at this point. They go for an Ice Punch, so I'm thinking Power Punch, Ice Punch, and we're going to go ahead and go for our own Psychic here with our Medicham. And we're looking good. I'm so satisfied. I'm so happy with this Staraptor that I do have here. I made a ton of them. I did not showcase all of the ones that I did have, but I will probably just make another video. We'll go ahead and go over those and just look at that. We'll see. But we're taking that win there. Looking good, folks. Moving it on to our next battle. We got a ton of wins here. I'm telling you, this team did amazing for me. Next one, we're met with another Trevenant, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here and just hold it down with the Venusaur, getting to the Sludge Bomb. Now, ooh, what should we do? Call this? Yes, Seed Bomb, very good. And we get to the Sludge Bomb here. They did not swap, so this is locked in. And they let it go. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and farm them down with Vine Whip. Sounds good. Winning that matchup, bringing in a Ninetales. And they are pretty brave here. I don't know if there's some sort of a challenge going around that's called Don't Shield and Try to Win Up Against PokeAK. And if that is a challenge, I'm going to have to say, yes, keep that challenge coming, please. Come on. Yeah, go ahead. Don't no shields. I got nothing to prove. You go ahead and do that. I'm just going to say, yeah, they didn't use a shield. I'm not going to say you're a part of that challenge. All right, but I can't help but feel like there's something out there like that. A group of people trying to flex. You do what you got to do, don't you? Whatever, man. I love it. Let's go. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Psychic here with the Medicham on the Azumarill. They were saving the shields for the Azumarill. Now, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and quick move them down. That's what I was thinking this whole time is you can, you know. All right, that's fine. I'm just going to farm you all the way down, and I win with the shield as well. I win. All right, so we're looking good. Rising our score for Go Battle League, bringing up our ELO, and taking another 4-1 here. So, yeah, this team did quite significantly well for me, folks. And I'm pretty happy. You have no idea. All right. Let's go ahead and keep it moving here, collecting our points, and moving on to the next battles. Good. What are we going to see? Whimsicott. Oh, what did I tell you? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, yeah. Let's go. They're going to be swapping into Galarian Stunfisk, and this is just a testimony as to, you know, you win that lead. You're looking real good, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. Okay, that's definitely for sure. So it's looking like RPS here for them. We're going to let that Earthquake go, and what's going to happen is we're just going to go for another one of these. I personally knew I could have countered down, but it was too good of a lead for me to not win that matchup and just, you know, get greedy. Knowing that they're only going to get a couple of charms, that's perfectly fine. Now, they played this very well. We're going to have to take a look and see what happens here. So they shield up that Sludge Bomb, very nice. Swapping into an Obstacle. We bring in our Staraptor here to put in some work. Knowing that we're going to pretty much go down with this. We have 2 shields. Why? Just shield it up, right? Get to the close combat and take them down. So they let this go. And what I think that they were planning on trying to do was rely on their charm, obviously, and trying to get to 2 charge moves. Yes, we resist it massively, but with the charm accumulation bringing us down low enough, as you can see here, it probably would have been enough to take us out. So yeah, definitely close. We build up to 2 Frenzy Plans, and that's going to be simply enough to get them here. They're really fighting to the very end. Look at that. That's what I like to see. Going for another Frenzy Plant. Don't need to hit all those bubbles, and we take the win. We had a great lead, so it's not like, I'm so good. Okay, very, very well played and sticking it out until the end. All right, so next battle. Oh, boy. Okay. This is very interesting. I think I've never seen that personally myself in Go Battle League. So they're going to be swapping into a Quagsire though. And we have our Medicham out here. Going for the Psychic. We're going to let everything go. I don't plan on shielding this up at all. Maybe I would have shielded up the next one if we didn't make it right here. Yeah, probably would have. So we farmed them down, which is fantastic. All right, what are you going to be bringing back into battle here? What was that? We're going to go for a Psychics, Fire something. Alola Marowak, and they're using a shield, and it is also Shadow. Unfortunately, it has Fire Spin, so our Staraptor is going to be taking a lot of damage. Now check this out. Out of all the Alola Marowaks I encountered, this one has Flame Wheel. Oh, okay, so they raised their attack, and now I'm thinking there's no point of going for a close combat, obviously, because it's not that it's not very effective, because it still will do enough, but we're going to lower our defense. So they bring in their dragon there, the Komodo something. We go for close combat, we swap it to Venusaur. And I'm thinking, come on, Venusaur, survive, buddy, old pal, old friend. You could take a Dragon Claw. We do, and we get to the Sludge Bomb, and we're going to take the wall. I'm hoping this is going to be enough to KO this thing. Should be. Okay, beautiful. We take the win, Venusaur. Just always putting in that work left and right. Next battle? Okay, well, that's... It doesn't get any better than this. Shadow Swampert versus Shadow Venusaur. They're going to be swapping into a Sableye. I'm going to go ahead and farm up a little bit more. And now we're going to swap into the Staraptor here. And look at the damage that we're doing with Gust. Absolutely incredible. This thing is going to be so fun in Ultra League. So I let this go, thinking that we were going to be able to take it a little bit more comfortably. I wasn't not exaggerating when I said it's going to one-shot you. So we do shield up, and we're actually able to survive by the hair on our tail feather. Just barely. And we're going for the close combat here. And they let it go. Incredible. They take us out with a quick move. We bring in the Venusaur. Down they go. What's in the back? A Skarmory. Okay, folks. And this is going to be the last battle. This is going to be a testimony. Staraptor put in its work. Okay. Medicham, this is your last time to shine as well. But it is going to be Venusaur's ultimate comeback. Oh my gosh. We're looking at a Steel and Flying type. It's a pretty big resistance to grass, don't you think? Alright, so we're in here with the Medicham, and I'm just thinking, I need one more shield. That's all I need. I just need them to... Okay, they used it. Oh, and they're using their energy. Now I need this to KO. Okay, beautiful. And we're going to get to the Frenzy Plan and take the win with the Venusaur up against the Skarmory. Folks, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on, and I'll be catching you all next time. Thank you for watching, and take care.